Welcome to Block 929. My name is Ted. If it's your first time to visit our channel, please don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and leave a comment. All right. For those of you who have been following me on my channel, you all know that I've got a daughter, Tamara, and she's in Form 2, and very soon she's going to be writing her junior certificate. And every now and then she comes to me and she wants me to help her, more especially with mathematics. Unfortunately, myself, during my secondary school, if there was a subject that I struggled a lot with is mathematics. So as a father, what do you do? So I was open to her and I told her that, I'm not good with mathematics, but at least there was a part of the mathematics, that I was much better off than the other parts. That is geometry. So every now and then she comes to me with a geometry subject, a question or a problem, a geometry problem, and then I'll be helping her. One day I'm going to do a video while I'm teaching her this geometry, solving the geometry problems that she brings to me, so that you can see how I help her. But it's very funny to say that although I was struggling with my geometry in school, at least I was much better. With my mathematics in school, but geometry was much easier for me. The reason why geometry was easy is because geometry is a subject that requires you to actually solve problems. It's like you're solving puzzles. It's a subject that requires solving or finding solutions to some problems. Whilst other subjects like algebra and arithmetic, they're subjects that requires you to do some calculations. So for me, with the calculations, I'm not good. But when it comes to solving problems, I'm very good. And that is why I am very good at innovating. And you can see with my workshop, I make machines. I'm trying to make electrical cars. All right, it's just early it's in the morning. It should be somewhere around 6, somewhere to 7 in the morning. So that's why you're hearing those cocks crowing. All right, so I told my daughter that if you are going to master geometry, it means that life in the future for you is going to be very easy. In fact, geometry, I can say, of all the subjects, most of the subjects we learn in secondary school, geometry is one of the subjects that will help you in the future to make life easier for you. Because, in geometry, for you to be able to get it easily, you need to understand the particles of the figures. Because geometry is about figures. It's about diagrams. So each diagram is got particles that you need to know. So for example, if it's a circle, you need to know the particles of a circle. Particles like a circle has got a center, and from the center there's a line that comes from the center to the circumference, and that line is got diameter. It's a radius. And also there's a line that will cut the circle in half through the center, and that line is called a diameter. It bisects the circle in half. A triangle formed by the diameters of a circle is an isosceles triangle. Things like that. An isosceles triangle has got two sides that are equal, and the angles, base angles opposite to those sides are also equal. Things like that. A parallelogram has got opposite sides that are parallel and also equal, and the diagonal bisects the parallelogram in half. All those kind of particles that you need to know. If you know those particles, it makes it very easy for you to actually solve the puzzles that they're going to give you in the examination. Sometimes when they do the puzzle, they will give you a circle which has got so many diagrams inside, and they will give you one of the diagrams. They will ask you to find maybe the angle of that, or the the size of the side of one of the diagrams. And it will be easy if you know the particles of a circle, particles of parallelogram, particles of an isosceles triangle or similar triangle, things like that. So when you're solving that, you're actually looking at, so okay, if this is a diameter, or if this is a radius and that one is also a radius and it's forming a triangle, it is an isosceles triangle, which means the base angles are equal. But at the same time, that other angle that is coming there is actually an exterior angle of a triangle. And you know that an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two opposite sides of interior angles of a triangle. So by knowing that, it makes it very easy for you to solve your puzzle that I've given you. And it's the same thing like when I'm now innovating. So if I want to build my scooter, so what I'm thinking is, okay, my scooter, how long is my scooter going to be? Then I have to physically, because I don't have diagrams, I don't have plans for the scooter, then I physically go to look at the distance, take measurements, and look at, if I sit, how long is it going to take, my handles, how high are they going to be, and at the back there I need to find a place to put my motor, and then the axle, and also there's going to be a sprocket. What size of a sprocket am I going to use? I have to do some research to find that. And also, okay, I need to have maybe shocks at the back there. Where am I going to position the shocks? But why am I putting the shocks there? And it's the same principle that you use when you are solving geometry. Is the same principle that you use when you are solving a problem that you are, or maybe you want to innovate or build something. If I'm building the machine, I want to know, okay, when I came up with the idea was like, okay, how wide is my machine going to be? If it's too wide, then I won't be able to load it in a pickup. So I had to come up with a certain width. And then because of that width, how many blocks are going to be coming out of there? And also, what's the height of the machine going to be? And then what's going to vibrate? Well, it's a vibrator, which is going to help to vibrate. How long must my vibrator be? And all those kind of thinking. You're using certain processes that are helping you to think, to come up with a solution. And that's the same way how you solve challenges in geometry, or solve the puzzles that they give you in geometry. Yeah, so these are things that people really need to understand. So once you understand geometry very well, so in your day-to-day life, you will also be finding solutions easy to solve. It's the same thing like if, okay, I want to if you want to start a business in Malawi, what is it that you need to know about running a business in Malawi? Okay, so you will know that, okay, in Malawi, the opportunities in the business that are there in Malawi are not the same as the opportunities that are there in South Africa. They're not the same as the opportunities that are there in Gambia. Malawi and Gambia could have the same challenges, so the opportunities could be similar, but Malawi and South Africa are totally two different environments. The challenges that are there, the opportunities that are there in South Africa are not the same as in Malawi. I would say South Africa, the opportunities that are in South Africa would be similar to opportunities that are in America, because South Africa is more of a Western type of an environment comparing to Malawi, which is now, it's not much more modernized and westernized. So we have different opportunities. I can give an example that when you come to Malawi, the opportunities that you'll find here are in the challenges. So there's a lot of challenges. So if you are going to be a person who wants to solve the challenges that people face in Malawi, then Malawi will be very easy for you, because then you will be in good business. While when you go to an environment like in South Africa, the opportunities are in the ideas. So if you are somebody who can come up with ideas of, like bringing new ideas, you will be doing very well in South Africa. So, those are places where you can come up with new apps that does something, and an app that does whatever. But when you come to Malawi, you can be somebody who can find a solution to say, okay, how do I bring electricity to the people? or how do I bring water to the people? Like you are solving the problems that people are actually facing. While in that environment, even like in America, you are not actually going to be solving problems, because there's somebody who has already found a solution to the problems. But the only thing is you just have to come up with good ideas that will make life much easier, not necessarily solving challenges. So you can see, by being able to think like that, you are now saying, okay, now if I am in Malawi, what are the challenges that people are facing, and how do I deal with the challenges? But also starting a business in a strange country requires you to understand some understanding of the people also, because for you to be able to succeed in your business, you need to be able to understand the people that you're going to deal with in that environment. How do those people think? Because people think differently from different places that people come from. Like in Malawi, even in our national anthem, we have a word envy, which can also be called jealous. So naturally, Malawians, we are jealous people, and it's a fact that people in Malawi, majority of the people, not everybody is a jealous person, but majority of the people are jealous of some other person. In terms of, if somebody is succeeding, they are going to find ways of making that person to go down. Or if somebody who's succeeding suddenly falls down, many people are going to be happy. They will find it much easier to discuss or talk about that person's failure than that person's success. And that's we see it in our own industries, in our own country. What happens? I mean, we have an example. We have a Bushiri. I mean, okay, things are not going well for him in South Africa. Then you find that majority of Malawians are rejoicing and they are happy about it. If Bushiri was a South African, it would have been different, because South Africans would have defended him. Whether he was wrong or he was right, they would have defended him. So you can see, we are very happy to see one of us who's doing well. When he falls down, we become very happy. And this is not going to not good for us. It doesn't help us, because what happens is, if you look in other places, like if you go in areas like Nigeria, if somebody is successful, everybody wants to be like that person. Everybody wants to be successful. So in Nigeria, there's too much competition, whereby everybody wants to achieve, everybody wants to be successful. And it is even very difficult for somebody to be successful there, because everybody is just reaching for the top. While if you come here, we are always wanting to pull the person who's on top, we want to pull him down to come at the bottom. You see, so that's how it is. In South Africa, it's a different scenario. People have got a lot of opportunities. South Africans have got a lot of opportunities, but most black South Africans fail to see those opportunities. And most of them, they're always complaining and worrying about the foreigners. So they're not actually thinking of saying, okay, how is it possible for a foreigner to do well in my country and I can't be able to do well? So once you start asking those kind of questions, you are going to start saying to yourself, then what is it that a foreigner does that I'm not doing? So you go with that kind of thought process. You're going to go deeper to find out why is it like that? That most of the foreigners, they'll come in my location and do a business and they will do well. But if I try to do it, I'm not doing well. So once that kind of thinking mentality changes, then you will start seeing the opportunities, because South Africa indeed has got a lot of opportunities. I don't call it a land of milk and honey. I call it the land of opportunities. So thinking is very important. We have to be able to have a good thought process for us to be able to find solutions to our challenges. So if you are, say, for example, you are in America, you want to come and start a business in Africa, you need to do a lot of research to understand the country that you want to move to. So if you are going to South Africa, you have to do an in-depth research to understand what South Africa is, how South Africa is, and what's the economy there, how do the people think, what are the opportunities that are there, what are the challenges that are there. If you're coming to Malawi, the same thing, you have to actually think and say, okay, what opportunities are there in Malawi, and what are the challenges that are there. The same with Tanzania, Gambia, Nigeria, and others. Each country is unique. In some countries, they might be having similar challenges. Like for instance, for me, I would say the challenges that most of the people face in Gambia are similar to Malawi. But when it comes to working with people, if I go to do business in Gambia, I will not find it so difficult, because I will find that the characteristics are similar, but not the differences are not so big. So it won't be so difficult. But in other places, like if you go to South Africa, you'll find that also the people that you can work with there is also different from how it would be when you're working in Malawi. All right, so this just came up when I was teaching my daughter geometry, and I was like, this subject, how is it that I'm very poor in mathematics, but geometry sounds to be much easier for me? But when I look at how I think and how I solve problems, I discovered that I'm able to solve those problems because I'm able to solve the puzzles in geometry because I'm a good problem solver. So if somebody is able to master geometry, I don't think it will be very difficult for you to actually find to solve puzzles in your day-to-day life. All right. So don't forget to leave a comment, share this video, and also subscribe.